What's up, fight fans? It's your boy Terrence Crawford, sitting here about to board this plane, get ready to go to Vegas, do a little more preparing, and get ready to become a 3-time undisputed world champion.
You know, I'm gonna make all those doubters at the end of the day, at the end of the fight, they all gonna cry when they get home. You know, and I meant that.
Before getting on the plane to Las Vegas, Terrence Crawford sent his last message to his fans. This means that the time until one of the most anticipated boxing matches is almost up.
Hey, shout out to Turkey Al-Sheikh, Riyadh season. Hey, my family, I appreciate everything that y'all do for me. See y'all fans in Vegas, September 13th. Let's get.
Everybody's talking about the size, and, you know, me being a smaller fighter, but if you look on the stage, I've been sparring these big dudes my whole career. Like, how I'm gonna take a punch? They punch me every time we spar. So, you know, it's okay.
Canelo has been showing off his huge strength in the gym. His sparring partners have said that he throws heavy punches that remind everyone why the Mexican ace is thought to be one of the most dangerous punchers in the sport. All of the blows are exact and meant to hurt. Every practice is like a sneak peek at the big event that night, when honor and custom are on the line. At the same time, Terrence Crawford fans have responded to the happiness with quiet confidence. Crawford's trainer, Brian Bomac McIntyre, has not only turned down Canelo's practice plan. On the other hand, he said that his fighter would win in Las Vegas.
You know, once we get in the ring and they see something different, like each and every time, it's gonna be another excuse why, the reason why Terrence won and this and that and this, but I can assure you, I'm gonna be victorious, and after that, we're gonna have another parade. Let's celebrate, baby.
For years, people had seen Crawford beat up opponents, respond quickly, and rise to any situation, which made his words powerful. Crawford, who was standing next to Bowman, was also very sure of himself during his last speech.
You know, once we get in the ring and they see something different, like each and every time, it's gonna be another excuse why, the reason why Terrence won and this and that and this, but I can assure you, I'm gonna be victorious, and after that, we're gonna have another parade. Let's celebrate, baby.
Robert Garcia was one of the first people to make their opinion known. He said that he liked both men's skills, but he thought Canelo's strength was better than Crawford's plan for winning. In his comments, Garcia said that Canelo had the size and power to instantly change the course of a fight. However, Crawford possessed the courage to battle honorably and overcome the challenges. He said Canelo would win and hurt Crawford, but Crawford could win if he fought smart. Spencer Oliver told Canelo Alvarez that the fight he was about to have would be the hardest of his career. It was made clear that Terrence Crawford wasn't just fighting. He wanted to be famous, so he went into a high-risk, high-reward situation where one night could make him famous. Oliver said that the level of this test shows whether a person becomes famous or their goals fail in the face of historical obstacles.
This is the best fight in boxing, bar none. You know, we've got two of the best fighters in the world, and Terrence Crawford trying to do what no other's done before, a four-division world champion, and, you know, jumping up from light middleweight now to super middle, trying to achieve the unachievable against Canelo Alvarez, who is pound for pound. Can he do it? I think he can. I think that this guy creates history. Terrence Crawford is that good.
Spencer Oliver stressed that he thought very highly of Terrence Crawford's skills, and that Crawford was ready to fight any middleweight at any time, even the best ones in the business. He thought Crawford was one of the best, which meant he was capable enough to fight with big names like Sugar Ray Leonard and Roberto Duran. Oliver believed that the fight in September would show how outstanding Crawford was.
Always said it, I think that he lives with any welterweight. His best weight really has been at welterweight. He lives with any welterweight in any division for me, and that's including all the greats. You know, you're going back to your Roberto Durans, Sugar Ray Leonards, all those guys. I think that he is that good. and we find out in September. It's going to be fantastic.
Talked about how Crawford's size could be the biggest problem. He knew that the difference in weight would be important to many, but he thought that now was the best time for Crawford to fight Alvarez, pointing out that CC's performance in recent fights have been getting worse. Besides that, he said that Canelo's last opponent, William Skull, didn't try him.
The fascinating thing is that the difficulty that most people would put to Terence Crawford is the size element of things. But I think if he's going to fight Saul Alvarez, it's the right time to fight him now, because we're seeing elements of decline in Alvarez. Okay, the dance partners who's been forced to fight against William Skull didn't come to fight.
Then he thought about Crawford's journey and how the fight might go in terms of style. Jordan praised Crawford's career and talked about how he shocked British fans by beating Ricky Burns and then dominated Errol Spence in a win that would define his career. He was sure this fight would be exciting because Crawford could easily switch weight classes.
But Crawford, it'll be interesting to see how their styles gel and how the fight proceeds. But having watched Crawford like you have done, from the moment he landed on his shores to deal with Ricky Burns all those years ago, to the manner in which he dismantled Errol Spence and stepping up the weight classes, I'm in Spencer's camp. We're both in the same position, aligned, foolishly together perhaps, in the belief that Crawford will beat Alvarez. And I'd like to see him beat Alvarez, quite frankly.
As the fight gets closer, people are getting more excited. This isn't just a fight between winners. It's between two of the best fighters of their time. Each individual contributes unique skills to the team. Canelo has a lot of experience, is strong, and has had his chin tried. In addition, Crawford has the accuracy, flexibility, and toughness that make outstanding winners. Brain Mendoza shared a different view and said that his feelings about the fight had changed several times. Mendoza bowed slightly to Canelo, explaining that his strength and ability to maintain his position in the ring were crucial factors. But he saw that Crawford had put on a lot of weight and looked strong when he started the fight. "Every day, I feel like I'm almost changing my mind," he said. "But eventually, I still like Canelo because of how tall he is. Yes, but I guess the change in size isn't as clear since Crawford is bigger, right?" Brian Mendoza said he believed in Canelo because he had seen him at the weight, and even more so because Crawford looked strong and skilled. His words showed how little difference there was between the two outstanding fighters. "Crawford is heavy," he said. "He moves around well. Right now he is very strong. The fact that he is taller in the face-off means that he is bigger. It's just the size. Things change a lot when you're carrying that much weight in the ring. That's what you need to keep in mind when you act." Eddie Hearn, who has planned many big fights, has changed his mind about the fight between Canelo and Crawford. Eddie Hearn initially preferred Canelo because he was bigger and had a better track record in the heavier weight class. However, he now knows that Crawford needs to think about timing, accuracy, and momentum.
You know, Canelo's my guy, but I'll probably lean slightly to Crawford in this.
He saw that the American winner had been beating the best of the best with ease for a long time. Hearn said that this fight might be closer than most people think, even though he still respected Canelo's strength and skill. His change in place shows how unpredictable and important this matchup has become for the game.
I think that Canelo will be a favourite going in, but it wouldn't surprise me at all if Crawford could do it.
Eddie Hearn has said that a Crawford upset wouldn't surprise him. He made it clear that Crawford had never been expected to do well, and that rankings and predictions didn't matter when he went through the ropes. For Hearn, the real question in this fight wasn't who would win, but whether Crawford could take advantage of the chance, change the rules, and make the boxing world shake. He also brought up Canelo's loss to Dimitri Bivol as a constant warning and suggested that Crawford use it as a guide.
I think Bivol really did set the blueprint of how to beat Canelo Alvarez. You know, what you do is you're slick, but you throw punches in bunches, you move into range, bomb, 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 out of range. You do it again, because Canelo's not that active. He doesn't throw a lot of punches, and he hates movement, hates it. Crawford's got Crawford, to be honest, Crawford's got to probably make it a little bit of a stinker. Like, you've just got to go in there and just win rounds. And I think Crawford will win rounds in those fights.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Especially the early rounds. So Canelo may have to do something and try and, because he's not that active. I don't think he really wants to work that much.
Dimitri Bivol, who beat Canelo Alvarez in one of his most famous losses, spoke out about the upcoming fight. He also said that Crawford would usually move around and keep his distance to stay out of range. But in the end, he admitted that the result would be hard to predict.
It goes like Crawford will try to keep on the distance Canelo, and he will try to use his long distance and moving. But what will happen, only God knows.
Do you
Could
feel
he
though?
keep him full distance on the distance? Does it make sense?
Yeah, it does. To keep the distance.
Yeah, full all fight. I don't.
Bivol showed that Crawford's way of distance would not work. He talked about how good Canelo's defense is and how he moves his head. He said it would be hard to land clean hits with single shots, but easy with lots of them.
He could. Will he? But also, just to keep Canelo on this distance, it's not just enough. He has good defense. His body movements, it's great. You know, to reach his head, you need to throw not only 1-2 punches. You need to throw 5-7 punches, and one punch you will score. Yeah, does it make sense?
Yes, yeah.
You will miss like five punches, but one of them 6 punch will reach.
To make things even more interesting, Antonio Tarver said that Canelo has tried many different strategies over the years. One of Canelo's most important skills, he said, was being able to stay calm under pressure and deal with problems. Tarver said that even though Crawford was smart, he might not be able to show Canelo something he hadn't seen yet. He told them that Canelo had seen almost every style in the book. This is what's so scary about him. He knows how to change things. That's what I think will make a big difference in this fight. Since both men had hit the top of their sports, Xander Zaz thinks about how big the fight was. He praised Crawford's ability to become a 2-time undisputed champion in various weight classes, which cemented his place in boxing history.
Elite level fighters, they've shown it over the years. Obviously, 2 times undisputed for Terence Crawford, 40, 47. He's shown why he's one of the best in the history books. But in the other side, you have one of the best to ever do it, one of the pound-for-pound best for over a decade, in Canelo Alvarez. He's also shown why he's, you know, if not the best Mexican fighter to ever live. I feel like it's going to be a great...
Zaz said that the weight might make the difference. It was said that Canelo has already shown himself in bigger fights and knows how to take and give weight, which could make it much harder for Crawford.
You know, it's a lot to put in, you know, 2 weight divisions and have to keep up for 12 rounds against a fighter that has been sitting there for over 5-6 years, fighting the best of the best. He knows how to take those punches. He knows how to roll with those punches. I'm not saying that Terence doesn't, because, I mean, Terence is an old dog. He knows how to fight. He knows how to...
The ending is well thought out, and every word that both groups yell adds to the story. Canelo's huge training advantage has given his fans a lot of faith, and Crawford's camp is also sure that their man can handle the job. There is a lot at stake. There is a lot at stake: pride, heritage, and the title of pound-for-pound champion. Fernando Vargas broke down in tears as he thought about how important Canelo Alvarez's win was to the history of Mexican boxing. He stressed that this wasn't just another fight, but a moment of national pride, and that a win would make a statement.
Crazy is, I'm a big Crawford fan as well. Like, every time he sees me and my brothers and my dad at fights, he comes out of his way, shakes our hand. It's all respect. But I just feel the weight's a little too much, Marcos. I feel going up 2 weight classes, really like 3. And early, I feel Terence will have great success.
Vargas was sure that Canelo would become the face of Mexican boxing if he got the knockout. This would make it clear that he was the best. He said that what the people really wanted was not a win, but an ending that would be remembered for a long time. It wasn't just a fight for belts for Vargas. It was also a fight to carry the weight of what the country expected of him.
I mean, maybe he'll get Canelo's head snapped back, or, you know, catch Canelo early. Maybe I could see Terence Crawford go southpaw, because you see Canelo has had a bit of problems with southpaws. You can see Canelo, I can see him getting frustrated, picking him up like how he does, like when he gets frustrated. But I say 6th, 7th, 8th round on up, I think he'll figure him out. And we need Canelo to get a stoppage, if not get a get a knockout. I think it'll be great for Mexico, and it'll be great for Razas. But I got Canelo, coming out with the victory.
There has been a lot of talk about the weight gap between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. Experts, trainers, and past champions all agree that Crawford's move to 168 pounds will be tough. This is because he has previously dominated in lower weight classes without having to fight a natural super middleweight like Canelo. Alan McKenna and Terence Crawford had sparred before the fight, and they talked about how big it was going to be. He made it clear that the fight wasn't just any fight, but an international event that would bring in millions of fighting fans.
His fight was at 154 when I was sparring, but he was very strong, and I think I can hold up in super. I think so, yeah. The fact that he can change southpaw and orthodox, and technically he's the best boxer in the world, I think he could easily do it, but again, we'll have to see, at the weight, will it work out?
Also split the main power that decided things in the heavier group. He said good things about Crawford's athletic skills, but agreed that Canelo's strength would be tough to handle. If Crawford could handle how tough the fight was, McKenna thought he would be able to beat the Mexican King.
I don't know. It all depends, how much of a difference, again, the power has at that weight. Crawford technically is the best fighter in the world, and if he can hold off Canelo's power, I could easily see him outbox.
The problem isn't just their size. They also have to keep up their strength, stamina, and speed up while taking bigger hits for 12 rounds or more. Some people think Canelo is better because he has fought at a heavier weight before, while others think Crawford's accuracy and smarts in the ring will help him close the gap. The fight night is still up in the air. Amir Khan talked about the reason for weight divisions and said that they are an important part of keeping the fight fair. He said that Crawford was the best fighter pound for pound, but he warned that fighting Canelo was very dangerous because of the difference in size and power, especially since Canelo has been dangerous in the past, even though he is getting older. Crawford would have to meet with bigger fighters, Khan said, which would put more stress on his body while he was training. He understood Crawford's great achievements as a two-time undisputed champion, but he wondered if taking that big of a risk was really required. He did say, though, that Crawford will have to face a task if he really believes in himself. What will happen? Will Crawford do something amazing, or will Canelo show again why he is king among men? What do you like better, the skilled expert or the Mexican powerhouse? Tell us what you think in the comments. Sign up for more breakdowns and give it a like.